Hello, good morning. Uh, Happy early Thanksgiving. It has been a good few weeks actually. Last time I chat is at the end of September that I have this weekly Zoom call, and thanks everyone to join us, and thanks everyone to dine in. I'm really enjoying call like this. But really, I want to um, you know so um, want to say thank you for everyone who's watching this, and I'm going to end meeting everyone on the call, and it's going to take a couple of seconds for me to get set up. I'm kind of new now. I haven't been doing this for a few weeks, and thank everyone for joining us from Facebook, YouTube, and Zoom. Hi everybody, and it is really not like I haven't do this for a few weeks, as I said. It's been uh good. I think I stopped doing that because I got very honestly burnout from all this COVID thing, and I was planning my trip to the United States, and you know what, I've been plan. 2 weeks ago, I kind of wanted to do this, and then I caved to the thought of, you know what, I probably don't want to do it, but I this morning I submit enough motivation and enough courage, and I'm going to do this. So how everyone is again. Thanks for tuning in to the call, and you know um, my buddy called me this morning and said, what, by the way, I have a good news, very good news. So I went to test. I'm COVID negative. So I know you cannot see that, but this is what I got after doing the two tests. So I wish everyone well. I wish everyone's gonna have really exciting, very good um, Thanksgiving. Um, Regardless of what's happening outside in the world, I wanted to catch up. I haven't been doing this for a few months. I mean, for a few weeks, and to really to give you update as in where I see where's the market, on our apartments. In fact, um, I went to US for a week last week, and and it's funny. I went to a week for a week, and then in Ohio, visit my property and look at me and my partners. We're a team of three, and then we meet. My gosh, it was on the 9th, and we arrived at Cincinnati. And it takes us a good day to be there, and then it's totally how my head, and how Celia and how Jeff and Lucy online. But it is quite different. This is the first time I travel since the pandemic happened. I didn't know what to expect. I was planning all my agenda and hoping that they allow me to go to the country. And nothing happened. They just let me in. What are you doing there? I say, "They know I'm seeing properties," and it's like, "Oh, there you go. Let's go in." And yeah, it's more simple than everyone think. And of course, I'm not encouraging or discouraging anyone to do the travel. I go there for a business need, and finish my thing and come back. And I did the test negative, and self isolation in the meantime. But it's a lot happening out there for the last few months of the whole year. I'm so happy that it's almost to the end of 2020. I don't know about you guys. I'm very happy that we're gonna have a really good start, a really great start anyway. It sounds like it from 2021. We're gonna have vaccine, and we got us who support. The elections all done. Um, I'm just ready to. This is too tiring for me. And I mean, that's a lot of things happening in the real estate market. At the beginning, we think that the market would go up, the market would go down. Um, yeah, I hear you. Trying to forget 2020. That's right. But the truth is, I think we all learn a lot. I learned a lot from this year, personally. And I learned from people who come talk to me. I learned from people who never know it. And, I also learned that, you always have to be self-reliant. So, since the pandemic. So in fact, for the last 3 months, myself and my team, we raised just over half a million worth of capital. We're ready to go out and execute the buy, and that's really the reason why we go to the market again, and to really see the problem. So we walk about in 3 days. We received 30 packages, and where we really walked 25 properties. In actually, we scheduled for 3 days, but we actually finished the walk in 2 days. And then last day we just the team sit down and talk. But the it's a it's very very tiring for those 3 weeks, because we usually, when I go to the market, I book, and I basically book for the whole 3 days, and like there were times that my broker's friends have to wait for me, and there's times that we have to go back. But one thing that we learn is you always have to be self-starter. Like when we talk about raising capital, when you talk about, I was really busy meeting investor this week. I have investor coming back to me saying that they potentially want to invest with us and say thank you, and that's nice. And really, there's a lot of people are also fearful, and so I'll hear people who've done so many deals since the pandemic, and I know what they talk about. I believe them, and it's no matter how bad the situation becomes, there's always things that you can do, right? And I don't like this staying at home and doing the Zoom call. In fact, I want to go out, but and go to the office, and I can't. And I can go to my office and put on my mask, but I mean, I it's not really effective for me. It's not really comfortable for me. But I still trying to go out, go outside, meet people and things like that. But that's I think in terms of investing, and I heard a lot of people saying that they want to invest, they want to do things, they want to do things actively. Primarily, they want to do things themselves, right? They don't want to passively invest. A lot of people join in Discord, they want to be actively in what they're doing, and it's all good. One thing I'm going to say this, I was so this is a Chinese book, but it's actually, if you read this book, is actually the Rich Dad Poor Dad book. So I'm a Chinese, so I can read Chinese. But the funny thing is, I have got this book when I was 15 years old. I just turned 40. To I just turned 40 2 days. Sorry, last no early. So this Monday. So I just turned 40, and so it's about 25 years since the first day I read the book. One thing that I learned is it's I forgot most of the things that this book tell me. So I read through a few pages. It's a Rich Dad Poor Dad, the third series, and talk about and a lot of people I know read this book before. So the point is not about reading the book. The point is actually I in fact I figured out I forget a lot of things that I learned over the years about passive investing, about active investing, about employee, about investing, about sole proprietorship. That this becomes very useful for me when I flip through the post pages when I was so tired at 12 in the midnight yesterday. And I guess what I'm trying to say is, everyone needs someone to remind you, right? Everyone needs someone to tell you, what in my case is a book, right? In other people, maybe some other things. But everyone's, we need someone's or somebody or your team to basically sometimes to remind you where you are at. In my case, I was so absorbed with the pandemic, because primarily I listen to a lot to the news. Maybe it's you're doing the same, maybe you're not doing the same. I don't know where I personally am so sick of that. I'm ready to get back to our normal life, whatever the normal life is. And that means to me is, focusing on the positive side, focusing on the money raising side, so focusing on on going to the market, focusing on the educations, my educating my network, focusing on again building the broker relationships, getting the right deal, right? A broker just actually texted me while I'm actually on this Facebook, and they text me saying that the volume is low. Thank you. And yeah, the volume is low, but focus on those things that you can touch on, because no matter what time, what year, even the best or worst year, there's always going to be bad thing. If you decide to focus on the bad thing, sorry, I don't want to play in that arena. And I don't think it's healthy. I don't think it's right to tune your mind in that kind of settings. You can call me, I put my head in the sand, but I disagree, because you know what? I rather to do, I rather to associate myself in my mind, in my network with the positive thinking, with the can do attitude, rather than, focusing on, I'm not going to say those the headliners is useless. I'm not saying that. In fact, we have 1,500 on per case, active case, new case in our province for the weekend, and you know what, we have new branches. But you know what? Don't focus on those, because you know what? If you focus on what's your value, right? I know you always want to be relevant with the communication with other people, but my thinking to you is this: you always have to focusing on one part, which is your value to the people that you're going to affect around you. If your value is so as easily accessible from the mainstream media, from all the people who is already so negative, so you have to think about what's your value to your network, and meaning that you people who is going to bring in the positive, the deals, the money is always going to be this much amount of people in the world, and the rest of the people is always this. And it's really simple to understand. I get it. It's really hard to do, but I think that's all we want to do anyway. Like, you want to be focused on what people cannot do, and so that you becomes the most variable. Many people say that going to the US is really hard right now. You have to. I was texting my buddy in Hong Kong, and two guys and three guys anyway. They're all business owner, and then telling him, like, I traveled to the US, and the first impression they say this, oh, so he's going to be isolation. It's like, yeah, so yeah, there's isolations. And what I'm trying to say is they're so negative, and it's the outlook. It's the outlook of what you think that what you can do. It's not really, everyone has capital in the world. The true thing is everyone have capital. There's so much capital. I was just reading a news headlines again. This is a positive from National University online a minute ago, saying that there's so much debt, so much capital in terms of debt and in terms of equity that's sitting on the sideline. That is, the problem is not about that you don't have capital. Okay, capital is always there. That's the saying that the rich is always going to be rich. That's only right to the degree, because you know what? So my questions to you is, why don't we talk to the rich? And why don't we talk to the guys that actually have the resources and be resourceful? You know what? When everyone just think about that. If you have your network, have 5 people who are well doing and they have capital to raise, to invest. If everyone's telling them that, they're so silly, the case is so down, it's going to be locked down, things like that. Think about your position. If you're going to go down and with same agenda, same talking points, same mindset, and telling them, it's going to be tough, how are you going to differentiate yourself from the rest of the people? Like, how do you become that person? You always have to relate, but you don't have to play the ball if you think you don't want to be in that part, right? You don't want to be the big chunk of the part. You want to be in here. So yeah, we saw a lot of deals, a little bit of updates. We saw a lot of deals. We drive so many kilometers and we fly back. It was so tired, and we put an offer on one and potentially put on another one. This kind of like, you go to a market, and then, I'm talking about the people who want to learn how to invest. I'm challenging you to, if you are fearful, it's hard for you to do things. And yeah, you got to have I'm not saying that ignore the pandemic. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that try to do whatever you can to overcome that, because I already hearing a lot of people is already moving. In fact, a lot of people, I see people doing deals. Like, I see people is actually doing. If you're submerging your head into this whole pandemic thing, and is all negatively affecting you, I guarantee you, 2020 comes and many people will start doing deals. You'll be one of them, but you'll be too late because you haven't started this year. I've been saying that since March, and you can listen to me. You can ignore me. You can say that I am the naysayer, the opposite naysayer of all this pandemic. I'm not saying that. I'm saying do what you can to go and create a relationship. I talk to my student, same thing. go to the market and go, and you know, who cares if you don't get deals? Who cares? You will see the deals. So go to talk to the brokers. You know what? Brokers is so much more serious when you go see them. 100%, 100 times more serious when you go there and see them. You know, they may tell you, no, I can't see that, and you know, I can only meet a coffee shop and things like that. I don't care. But they know you're serious. If you're not serious, when the times comes and the whole recovery is going to be all better. You know, yesterday Biden's name the lady from Yellen, the old Federal Reserve chair, to becomes the Treasury Secretary. And you know what that means, right? And you know, if you look at how Yellen has been doing things for the last the previous 4 years on the Federal Reserve, you know, she's going to be all about, you know, boosting the economy. It's going to be high, and the Dow Jones, and you know, it's going to all high, and the interest rate is going to keep it low. So I guess, you know, knowing where the direction is not good enough, that we're trying to say is, you have to take action. You have to talk to the people who have the capital. You have to continuously put on your marketing. You have to talk to your own network and get the deals, get the capital, and go visit the market and start underwriting a deal and put in the offers. So all I'm saying is, you know, it is nothing new. It's nothing really new to report. The market is, you know, so hot that, you know, I couldn't believe that. If you look at the headlines, you know, real estate is doing so well, and you know, you know, in the single families market there's not enough supply, because people want bigger home. You know, this is all. I don't need to remind you all these headliners you see every day. The truth is, are you going to take action? Truth is, are you going to invest with something? Truth is, are you going to put in LOI? Truth is, are you going to go and talk to the guys who have the capital? And don't be fearful. You know what? People is going to turn you down. Honestly, people is going to tell you to, you know, come back later. People is you know, I've been doing this for years, and you know what? It feels so joy that, you know, occasionally that, you know, people always can say, you know, thank you very much. I really don't want to listen to you, and I respectfully and follow what they tell me. Say, and you know, I just you know, put a stop on the communication. But for the rest of people who want to grow, who want to build a network, their choice is always in your hand, and it's on your hand only. So I'm gonna leave it at that. It doesn't mean this is not meant to be a really long Zoom call, and I don't want to keep it that way. I want to keep it as a happy Zoom call for everyone who wants some break. Forget about, you know, sorry, I shouldn't say. Pay attention to news headline. Pay attention to it's still going up the case. You know, do all you need to protect your health. But one thing that they're not telling you is do all you need to. I'm going to tell you, do all you need to protect your own sanity, protect all your mind clearness on your mind, because years later you're going to thank yourself. You're going to thank other people. And I want to see you up in the top. I want to see you doing things together. I want to, if you want to partner, invest in my deals, yes, let me know. But you know, if not, just keep coming to the Zoom call, keep coming to the meetups, keep going to all this online events, and until we can become joyfully seeing each other and hug each other and shake our hands together. In the meantime, I wish you all well. Take care. Test, you know, go do your test and becomes COVID negative, but don't be the negative, okay? Don't be the negative person so saying that, you know, you cannot be done, because, you know, I heard so many people are still doing deals. I see so many people keep raising capital. They're still going strong. So it's all your choice of what you're going to do in your life. And if you want your new you in 2021, you have to start doing it today. So thank you very much to all you guys. And I will send you update. We're going to have another Zoom call in a week or two, but wish you all well and wish you all healthy, and stay tuned, and take care, everybody, and boys and girls and brother, sister, and talk to you next time. Cheers, guys. Thanks, guys. Bye.